Hi, welcome to this edition of Book Notes. Today we're going to be talking to N.D. Wilson, who's the author of Notes From The Tilt-A-Whirl. It's a new book that we just released that's kind of an apologetic for postmoderns. It's a little bit G.K. Chesterton, a little bit C.S. Lewis and James Joyce, but it's a book full of wonder and a book that I really want to recommend to you, but I want you to meet the author. Welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Good to see you.
Fun to be seen.
I want to read something from the introduction or from the preface and kind of get your perspective. You say, this book does not go straight. It's not a road in Wyoming. The earth spins while orbiting the sun. A car on a tilt-a-whirl quizzes children at the county fair using a similar motion. Why do you use this metaphor?
A couple of reasons. One is the earth spins while spinning, which is what the tilt-a-whirl does. And also because the tilt-a-whirl appears random. When I was thinking about the way the world actually works and moves, the way the earth spins and goes around the sun, and there's other cars too, other planets doing the same thing. Really, I mean, tilt-a-whirl seemed like the cleanest picture of that, as far as, like, especially given the amusement park aspect.
Your book deals a lot with imagination and especially wonder, but why is that important to you?
The wonder at the bigness of God, at the bigness of what God has done, is really, I think, an important one. I think it's important to get perspective on your own self, on how small you are and how small humanity is, and it makes God's care for us even more impressive.
Yeah. One of the things you use in the book is the whole idea that God speaks the world, not only into existence, but is continually speaking it. Could you elaborate on that?
And I was thinking about the doctrine of ex nihilo creation.
Out of nothing.
Out of nothing. Right. The world is spoken ex nihilo, from nothing. He spoke, and it was the power of his word that made the world, that created it.
The thing I love about that is God is continually active in his world. It's not like he spoke it and he went away, or he occasionally intervenes. But its continual existence is because it continues to speak it.
I'm here like a vowel in a word. I'm spoken. I'm part of this poetry.
You talk a lot about the problem of evil, and a lot of Christians want to avoid that problem. Why is that important to you to deal with?
It goes back to being interested in philosophy. I mean, it's the number one thing thrown at Christians.
Right.
In philosophy departments, well, if there's a God, how come there's evil? But when I was really exploring ex nihilo, the from nothing aspect, the idea that this is God's art, then it kind of heightens it. Mm-hmm. It heightens it emotionally. But I think the fact that it's God's art answers the question for you. And I also think that the problem of evil is a large emotional problem, a big emotional problem.
Yeah, you talk about that in part of the book.
It's a legitimate emotional problem, but it's not a logical problem at all.
Part of what I liked in the book was that you didn't address it as though it were illogical. I mean, you make that statement, but you really are addressing it at an emotional level and an artistic level.
That's what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to show basically an aesthetic justification for evil, for the use of evil in art.
Yeah.
That's for the use of the color black in a painting.
N.D., when you were writing the book, were you writing it for Christians to give to their non-Christian friends, for non-Christians, or all of the above?
Hopefully all of the above. I wrote it with multiple people in mind. People I'm writing to, professors, classmates, friends, friends from multiple different faith backgrounds, different denominational backgrounds, who are struggling with these questions.
Yeah, I almost felt like in the book there were times when you're never preaching at me. You're just asking me to kind of look over your shoulder and see what you're seeing.
Well, that was the hope.
Yeah.
See what I see. And there's times I say specifically, I'm not going to get into this. I'm not going to show you these proofs. I'm not going to walk you through this logic here. What I am going to do is tell atheists, as I say this in particular places, my picture is prettier than yours.
One of the things you said in your bio was that not everything I write is for children, but all of it's childish. What did you mean by that?
And some people have corrected me and say, well, you meant childlike. And I say, no, I mean childish. I'm willing to just embrace that. My kids, I've got 4 kids. The oldest one is 7. And they look at the world with great, big, shocked eyes, day in and day out. For them, look, a squirrel. Sit there and they watch the squirrel's tail snap. They watch another squirrel come chase it, and they do loops around the trunk, and they're riveted. And I run out the front door, and I'm like, I'm late again for work, or I got to go teach. I got to go teach, and my calluses are there. And God, speaking actively in that moment, is saying, "Squirrel fight, right there. It's right there. Do you see it?"
It's amazing.
And I'm numb to it. It's really easy to become numb to it. And so that's what I look at my kids, and I say, okay, those are the eyeballs I want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want. And so that's what I mean by childish.
That's fantastic. This is a great book, and I think people are going to love it.
As long as they're passionate about it one way or the other, I'm fine. If they read it and put it away and say, then I'll be unhappy. But if they say, that was the worst book I've ever read, I'll be happy with that too, as long as they're engaged with the questions, really riled up and engaged.
Well, this book, again, Notes from the Tilt-A-Whirl by N.D. Wilson. You can get it wherever better books are sold, but it's a great read. It's a book you want to pass on to your friends, so I really encourage you to get it.